It's a case that gripped not just Hampton Roads, but the nation. Zwerner sued Newport-News School Division and Assistant Principal Ebony Parker for gross negligence.
Jurors agreed Parker willingly ignored multiple warnings that the child brought a gun to school. Emily Harrison is live outside the courthouse after following this case for more than a week. So, Emily, what happened inside as the verdict came down?
Well, you could feel the anxiety in that room as the buzzer went off. I actually saw several people running towards the courtroom in order to make it in time. And once everyone was seated, the judge warned everyone that he would not tolerate any sort of outburst and urged everyone to remain calm as they read that verdict out. And I can assure you, I don't think anybody moved an inch when it happened. But in the moments following it, Dr. Ebony Parker's family all stood up and left within moments, while Abby Zwerner's family went around giving each other hugs. Dr. Parker did not say a single word as she left the courthouse today, and neither did her attorneys. But Zwerner's attorneys are calling this a victory, even though they only got a quarter of the money that they had asked for. This $10 million, they say, sends a message that school security cannot be taken lightly, and to ignore the warnings from teachers and students is a negligent act. Kevin Binyazin says it's a historic case that sets an accountability precedent.
I think we have to acknowledge within our civil justice system that accountability comes from anyone who contributed to the ultimate outcome. And some of these things are foreseeable, and if we can take the appropriate measures to prevent them, then we can save lives, and we can save lives from being harmed.
Well, Abby Zwerner did not talk directly to us. When I asked her lawyer whether or not she was happy with the outcome of this case, he pointed to her and she nodded her head yes, giving him a big hug with tears in her eyes. Live in Newport News, I'm Emily Harrison, 13 News Now.
All right, Emily, thanks. We'll see you back in the 5 o'clock hour. Now, we're joined in studio by legal analyst Ed Booth. Ed, thanks so much for joining us today.
Happy to do it. Thank you for asking me.
Very good. And we have a verdict, of course. I'm wondering, what stood out to you? Kind of what hit you first when you heard this verdict?
Well, one thing that hit me first was the speed. We had about 5 days worth of evidence here, and the jury deliberated, as I understand it, for about 5 hours. So they were able to consider all of the evidence that they were presented, all the arguments of the attorneys and the legal instructions provided by the court, and reach a decision for a fairly long trial really pretty quickly. So, that tells us a couple of things. Certainly foremost among them is that they were able to reach a consensus fairly quickly in that jury room.
And we talk about gross negligence. That was kind of a key word there in the legal proceedings. What is the burden of proving that gross negligence, and how difficult is that?
Well, when you look at the jury instructions that the jury was given to consider, that's the roadmap. They get them at the end, they listen to the evidence, and then they're told the rules of the road. But those instructions tell the jury, if you find that the defendant was liable for gross negligence, committed gross negligence, then you find in favor of the plaintiff. Now, there are a couple of other things in those instructions, one having to do with contributory negligence, but addressing the gross negligence, you look at that and it's a higher degree than regular negligence. It's negligence that is shocking to the conscience of fair-minded people.
And then I think a lot of people they see ruled in favor of Abby Zwerner in this case, but $10 million rather than the $40 million that was originally in the suit. How do you view the discrepancy?
Well, I think $10 million is a lot of money. Right. I took a look just out of curiosity at verdicts from last year in wrongful death cases, and in 2024 there were a number of them and they were all less than $10 million. So I think this is a substantial sum of money, and hopefully the plaintiff and her team are proud of the result.